Oh hey, didn't see you there. Today, we're going to be learning how to solve an equation with variables on both sides, and to see if it has no solution, infinite solutions, or one solution. Let's get started on our first equation. Our first equation is 5x minus 7 equals negative 10x plus 5. The first thing that you need to do, the first thing that you should do is find out what your variable terms are and your constants. So in this equation, our variable terms are 5x and negative 10x. When we're putting in what our variables are, we have to add this. If there was a plus sign, we would say it was plus 10x. But it's negative, so we'd say 5x and negative 10x. Our constants are 7 and 5. Those are numbers that don't have variables in. Our first step is our first thing we want to do is to make this equation, or get the constants to one side of the equation. In order to do that, we have to get rid of the 7. You have to do constants first. So let's add 7. You can do it either way. You can minus 5 and minus 5 over here. But I find it more simpler to do it plus 7, because you then have to plus 7 over here. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So this would turn to 0, because 7 plus negative 7 is 0. You have to do it to here too. So positive 5 minus 7 is negative 2. So now, the equation just 5x equals negative 10x minus 2. Now you see up here, it was a plus, but now it is negative because 5 minus 7 is negative 2. You still use that plus, but it's the same thing as using minus 2. Next thing you want to do is get rid of a variable. So you see we have a variable up here, and we can't really add these together. So you have to move this over here. In order to do that, you have to add 10x. That would get rid of it on this side. But what you do to the side, you have to do to the other. So now it would be 15x. It would be 15x equals negative 2. Now that you have it into this format, we want to isolate the variable. Our variable is x. So, in order to do that, we have to divide 15. And now get rid of 15 on this side. Like that. And we have to do it to the other side too. So, negative 2 divided by 15 is 0.8. X equals 0.8. Or, you can also put it as 4 over 5. That's how we solve this equation. This equation only has one solution, because you can't put anything other than 0.8 for x. So this equation has one solution. Let's move on to our next equation. Our next equation is 4x minus 5 equals 2. And in parentheses, 2x plus 1 parentheses. This equation, we see, has 2 next to the parentheses of 2x plus 1. Just by looking at this, we already know what our variables and constants are. These are the variables. 5, 1, and 2. Well, actually, negative 5 is our constants. So you see, this is right next to the parentheses, and inside the parentheses there's equation. So to get rid of this 2, we have to multiply it to get 4x. And we also have to multiply it to the 1. That's a very important step. And that would equal 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times 1 is 2. So now we have 4x plus 2. And that would equal negative 5 4x. now that we simplified our equation a little bit more than what it was before. Our constants are -5 and +2. Let's make it more simpler. Let's add 5 instead of +2. So, since we did it to one side, we had to do it to the other. So it would be 4x equals 4x plus 7. You see, we both have 4x on the side. So, we have to move on to our variables. Let's minus 4x on this side to get it to over here. But, if we minus 4x on this side, that would give us 0. So 0 equals 7. This is an example of a no solution equation because we can't figure out what x is because those don't equal. Let's move on to our next equation. Our last equation. This is our last equation. It is 2y plus 4 equals 2, and in parentheses, y plus 2. We have two variables in this, 2y and y. There's a single one. There's no such thing as 1y. That represents just 1y. To simplify this equation more, it's 2y. And we also have to do it to the other one. So it's 2y plus 2 equals 4 plus 2y. Now let's move on to our variables. Let's minus it over this side. So now it's just 4 equals 2. Did you do something wrong here? Oh, 2 times 2 is 4. 4. So it would just be 4 equals 4. Equations like these, where it's both 4, means that it's an infinite solution because it's equal on both sides and they're the same number.